Hello, everybody. I'm Eric J. Chambers, and welcome to my birthday celebration. That's right. Today is my birthday, December 10th. And for so many years, I have not done any kinds of birthday celebrations. In fact, my very last birthday celebration was back in 2005. And ever since then, it's just been me and my daughter and perhaps a friend with dinner. But this time I decided I wanted to do something different. And I decided I wanted to, open it up to the fans of my radio show, my television program, Facebook, you name it, family, friends, whoever you are. Just wanted to open up to you guys. And there is a link on the Facebook page where you can link on to tonight's event. And if you want to chime in and say happy birthday. So we'll be here as long as the people are willing to come on board and be a part of the festivities today. But joining me right now as my co-host, she is a dear friend of mine, and she is in Oakland, California. I am here in Southern California. Look at her looking like a queen there, like she's ready to reign. Miss Dolores Thompson.
I finally made it to the Cut Chronicles. Becky, look at me, I'm here. Hi, Eric.
Hi, my friend. Thank you. And you just agreed to do this like a matter of hours ago, because I had reached out to you, I guess, a couple of days ago, and both of us being busy. And finally, we're here. And I'm glad that you're going to be a part of this journey with me. And for those of you who do not know, Dolores is a former radio personality on KJLH Radio here in Los Angeles, the station that's owned by the great Stevie Wonder. And in addition to that, she is now on KBLX Radio in the Bay Area, Oakland. Tell us about your show.
Absolutely. My show is, I'm a weekend personality at 102.9 KBLX. KBLX is a heritage station in San Francisco, pretty much like KJLH is. So we play R&B, and our audience are adults, African American. We take them 8 to 80. However you come, we ready for you. So what I do on the weekends, on Saturdays, I do a show called Makes Me Wanna Holler. And I open up the phone lines and I ask the audience, what are you hollering about today? Last weekend, we hollered about being fit during a pandemic. So I had a lot of personal trainers call up to give me some tips on how to get fit. And then on Sundays, I am the host of Sunday Morning Inspiration. You all know that I love my gospel music. And of course, I was also doing a gospel show on KJLH, which was started by Kevin Nash. So that is my passion, and I get to do that at KBLX as well. So I'm excited to be here, and I'm excited to be on the air back in the Bay because I'm from Oakland.
That's right. So how long were you on the air here at KJLH here in Los Angeles?
I was on the air at KJLH for 14 years. I actually started my radio career at KGFJ, which is one of the oldest Black radio stations in California. And I started there in 91, and I think I left like in 96. And I got the call from KJLH. In fact, I started getting the call before the station even got sold. And I was like, no, I don't want anymore. And I got a call from a friend who was working there. His name is Andre Russell. And he said, D, you mean to tell me you won't even pray about coming over here? And I was like, oh, man, hit me with the prayer thing. So once he said that, I prayed about it, and just, God opened a door. And like on my fourth call from the program director, I was like, okay, I'll come in and talk to you. And I knew that it was somewhere that God was sending me. So yeah, my radio career in Los Angeles has been a little over 19 years.
Awesome. Of course, I met you as a part of KGLH many years ago, and you've been a blessing to me. And I was honored to nominate you for an honorary doctorate degree last year. And you got that from Next Dimension University, Dr. Dolores Thompson.
Oh my goodness, Eric, I got to tell you, I was in Louisiana at the Essence Fest.
That's right.
We finally caught up with each other. And when you told me, I guess I got so loud, everybody at the fest was like, what's going on with her? Because it was just like a dream come true. I never imagined that I would be given a doctorate degree in theology. Everyone that knows me knows that I'm a minister. I preach at Shiloh Baptist Church in Hayward. I'm one of the associate ministers. So I've been preaching for a while in Los Angeles. But the fact that you acknowledge that that's who I am, because most people, they want me to be your girl Dolores. And I'm like, well, I'm your minister, Dolores. But the fact that you acknowledge that, it just bless my heart.
And don't make me have to touch and agree right now, right now. So, well, I'm super proud of you, sister, and you've been on this battlefield for a long time. And for those who are not familiar, I have my radio show. It's called The Jaspel. It's a jazz and gospel show, and it airs on Smooth Jazz KIFM 98.1 in San Diego every Sunday morning, beginning at 8 a.m. 8 a.m. till 10 a.m. Pacific Coast time. And this is the 26th year of The Jaspel. And so I debuted it back on July 10th, 1994. And who knew after all these years, Dolores, that I'd still be on the battlefield, just doing what I do. I love being able to play a lot of the artists that I play, which are a lot of independent artists. And I am the person who's in charge of my own playlist. I love having that autonomy where explain that face to the people.
Well, in radio, you are given a list of music that you have to play, and you play it in the order that it is given to you. Well, now it's all computerized. When I started at KJLH, you can kind of fudge around, which I wasn't supposed to do. But now it is, all playlists, computerized, driven. You don't even have to touch the music anymore. So you don't get the freedom of playing what you want to play. So when people call up and go, "Girl, you jamming," I'm like, yeah, well, somebody is.
Yeah, because we were having that conversation not long ago. And I guess I didn't realize that, how good I had it, simply because of the fact that, I've been doing this from day one. But I guess because of the fact that they are a smooth jazz station, I was able to, to be, to do my own thing, and they left me alone and I left them alone. And I see my brother, he is the first person to send us a thumbs up. Lorenzo, he is in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And so we spoke earlier today. And for those of you who want to make comments, you can do it. And then also, if you want to log in and click the invite link that you saw on my Facebook, you can do that. I had a couple of people here earlier, and hopefully a few more people will show up. But in the meantime, I have a Christmas. We're letting a few more people jump on board, but I also have a Christmas celebration that I'm going to be airing here in Los Angeles on Sunday. It's called A Very Cali Christmas. And your former radio station owner, Stevie Wonder, is one of the people whose music that I'm featuring in it. He and Andra Day. And it's going to be an exciting thing. And I'm going to show a clip of that a little bit later on. And so, but I'm just, like I said, I'm really excited about, things are, even in the midst of the storm, Dolores, things have really prospered for me. And I'm so excited about it. And I just really look forward to a bright new year in 2021. We still have the rest of this one to go. But we also must be mindful that even when the clock strikes 12 on New Year's Eve, that night going into the new year, it's not like everything is going to automatically be all right.
Now,
why don't you expound on that?
Well, I just wrote something on Facebook recently, and I got like over 200 or 300 people that read it and liked it. And what I said was, a lot of people were complaining in 2019, saying, I can't wait until 2020. But what I reminded them is we're right in the midst of spiritual warfare. So I don't care what year it is. I don't care what season you think or somebody's telling you it is. It's time to put on and leave on the full armor of God, because we're headed into a time where only the just who live by faith are going to be victorious in this day and time. And Eric, and that's why you are blessed in the midst of a storm, because you are a giver and you are a doer of the word. So boom, there it is.
Yeah. And like I said, I, with my radio show, one of the great thrills that I get is the fact that I can play the artists that I play, because let's face it, just because you're on a main or major record label doesn't mean you have the best music.
That's right.
There's a lot of independent artists that I've played over the years who did not have, say, for instance, the machine behind them. But at the same time, I was blessed that they had great music, and I thought that they deserved an opportunity. In fact, even in my Christmas special, this coming Sunday, the next two Sundays, it's going to air here in LA on Channel 31. But I've got some independent artists that I'm going to be featured in that with their music, because usually I have the high profilers. But I decided this year, you know what? Let's be a blessing to those artists themselves. And then also he's not an independent or little known, but I also threw in a little bit of my man Will Downing in there. You
Oh,
know, I had Will on the show here doing this about a month ago, and it was so much fun.
yeah, awesome. I was on his Unsung edition.
Oh,
So
nice.
I'll talk a little bit about Will Downing on Unsung. He's a fantastic guy.
That he is. And Dolores, tell us, what you also have a nonprofit, right, called the Sister Girls Network. You still doing that?
I do. My nonprofit Sister Girl Network actually got started in Los Angeles while I was on air at KJLH. And what happened was, Eric, so many women in LA I noticed were disconnected from each other. And being from the Bay Area, I'm not used to that. I'm used to, sister girls walking down the street going, "Hey, girl, you look good," all that. But it wasn't like that in LA. And I wanted
Mm-hmm.
to do something to where women can come together and celebrate one another while we together celebrate God. And because KJLH is owned by Stevie Wonder, he was on board with the whole thing. That was the one thing, that was one of the reasons why I knew God sent me there, because I was free to talk about God at the secular radio station while playing secular music. So that whole ministry got birthed right there at KJLH. And so many women joined from online. I had women from DC, from Texas, from London. I mean, it was a beautiful thing. And we even started traveling back and forth to DC. One of the executives from BET joined, Vicki Johnson. So we started traveling back and forth, me and the sister girls, to visit with her and go to her seminars and events and things like that. So it really blessed me.
That's awesome. I remember those days when you were here. In fact, that's when we met, when you were doing your Sister Girls Network. And that was just so exciting to see you and then all the women who were empowered by your work. That was wonderful as well. And so I am still awaiting some of the people to jump on board right now. And this is exactly why I needed a co-host. So I'm not just just sitting here chit-chatting. If you have some questions for me, you can do that right now, because in the meantime, I am working the phone. I'm working the computers. I got two screens over here and my cell phone all going at once, but that's what I usually do, when you're operating as a one-man band. So,
Well, I do have a question for you, Eric, because I have read your bio. I read your very first book that you dedicated to and about your daughter. And I just want to know what inspires you, what keeps you going, because you are more than a one-man band. You are like in multiple streams of the entertainment industry. I see you on red carpets. I see you behind the camera. I see you in front of the camera. I see you as an author, and I just wonder what keeps you inspired.
well, this is my calling. There are a lot of people who get into the industry because they want to be famous, right? I didn't do it so much because I wanted to be famous. I did it because I was called to do it. And I remember, Dolores, when I was growing up in Louisiana, I remember vividly like it was yesterday. My late grandfather, he and I were sitting on the backside of his house watching the trains pass from a distance. And he used to always love to listen to talk radio. And I said, "Granddaddy, one day I'm going to be on the radio." And who knew? He used to listen to WSMB in New Orleans and talk radio. And I said, "One day I'm going to be on the radio." And my earliest memory of wanting to do it was when I was about 5 years old. And then I also have a picture that perhaps you've seen of me pretending then what I do now as a reporter when I was 11 years old. So this has not ever been not in me. The thing about it is there are those who ask, when did I know what I wanted to do? I've never not known. But what happened is my ticket to Southern California ended up being the military. So I joined the Navy. I wanted to come out here and, be a part of doing what I do now. But because of the fact that I didn't, have any kinfolk that I could call on. And so what happened is I just said, okay, well, what I'll do is I'll join the Navy. And so the Navy was my ticket to Southern California. And as a result, I came out here in 1982 and I was living in San Diego. And actually, my television career began on board the ship, the USS Bella Wood.
Wow.
Yeah, that's where it came on board. And then, and speaking of that, one of my buddies from the Navy is look like he's getting situated to pop up. But nevertheless, I was the ship sports anchor man. That's what I did. I did the sports.
Wait.
I moonlighted doing it because I was a communication specialist, international Morse code, all of that stuff. That was my main job. But all of the news wire came into our department. And as a result, I was the one who was always distributing the, the news wire to them back in the day. And so it was only right that I got my hands on it first before the people who did news got theirs. And then I did that. And to be quite honest, had I been a journalist in the Navy, I would probably still be in the Navy.
Wow.
Yeah. The only reason I got out is because I was a radioman, and it wasn't a radioman in the sense of what we do radio-wise. It was communications. But had I been a journalist in the Navy, then they would have to kick me out because I would still likely be in there, 38 years later.
Nice.
Because, I'm blessed that my career is also my hobby. And that's a beautiful thing. My career is my hobby. As you see behind me, these people on that show, like there's Eddie Murphy, Shaq, Destiny's Child, Taraji, all these people that I get a chance to meet. And as I even explained to them, like when I was doing my book, Dining with the Ancestors, Cedric the Entertainer, I remember telling him, I said, you guys are heroes to people. But the people need to know that even their heroes have heroes. And one of my main heroes is right on that corner. You can't see it because of the glare, but it's Don Cornelius. I wanted to be like Don Cornelius, and that's a picture of me interviewing Don. And, I covered the Soul Train many years and the Soul Train Lady of Soul Awards and all of that. And just to get a chance to interview that giant, I remember the first time I saw him, I was just in awe, because Saturdays, it used to be Soul Train and American Bandstand. That's what we did.
Yeah, that's what we did.
And we were looking at Jet Magazine and everything. So I aspired, and I just dreamed dreams until I would, get a chance to finally, do what I do. And then in 1995, I became this, I was working at KGTV in San Diego, Channel 10. I was a senior editor there and a reporter. And then what happened is I ended up leaving there after 7.5 years. And I could still be there right now, but the 7.5 years there was good enough for me because I wanted something more. I wanted to do some on-air stuff, and I was doing it, but part-time. And then I became the news director at KIFM. And then I started hosting my a couple of shows, and that's when the Jaspel was birthed. And in fact, I love doing radio even more than I love TV.
Wow.
But I tell people, if you can do radio, you can do TV. Because, with radio, you're accustomed to speaking at all times. And sometimes I have to catch myself because I have a tendency to dominate conversations. And sometimes I forget to turn it off and realize that, okay, you can breathe a little because, in radio, 2 seconds of dead air is an eternity.
Exactly.
And so for those who are watching, I apologize if I've talked your ear off, but I am so trained into, having to constantly speak. And then when I was a speech major at San Diego City College, that was great also because, being a speech major, you had to always be able to learn how to think on your feet. And so, like I said, if you are an aspiring radio, television personality, if you can do radio, you can definitely do TV. But just because you do TV doesn't mean that you can do radio, because with television, we can hide behind video and all of that kind of stuff. You can say, oh, we're now looking live at such and such, and just let it play itself out. With radio, you have to constantly be having that conversation and being able to think on your feet, just like I am doing. And we have a couple more people look like are trying to come on board. And hopefully we'll get some of them squared away here. And my man Lou look like he's struggling with his video. Let me see if I can get him up right now. Just a moment. Lucius McCall. This is one of my buddies that I was on the ship with in San Diego back in the day.
Hi.
Dating back. In fact, Thanksgiving Day of 1982, Somalia in Africa.
I see.
That's where we met. So
Yeah.
what's up?
Nada. Calling. I'm chiming into the birthday show. See what's going on.
Okay, well, we're giving people a chance to give their birthday shout outs, and you're the first one.
Oh, be careful when you say we're giving. I thought you was going to say we're giving away gifts. It's funny.
Love, Lucius, love.
Say again.
We're giving away love.
There you go. I like that. I'll take it.
Yep.
I'll take a dozen. No, I was listening in when Eric was saying he likes to talk a lot. Eric does talk a lot, but the thing is, when he does talk, it's good talk. It makes sense. So you listen. That's the thing.
Yep.
Some people talk too much.
Well, like I said, it took me a while. And the same thing also, Dolores, when it comes to me sleeping in my bed, I sleep on one side and the other side is always made up. And I attribute that, Mac. I attribute that to us sleeping in that little narrow bunk that we had on a ship.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't think about
that
until recently, because you don't have any wiggle room. I had a top
no
bunk.
wiggle room.
If you wiggle, you're going to be on the floor.
You fall off.
So I'm a disciplined sleeper. So when I'm not one that stretches out all across the bed. I'm one who just that one side. And in fact, I got a couple of pillows over there, and I don't even have to make up the other side.
Wow.
So and I still fold my clothes and everything the same way I did when I was in boot camp, because it was advantageous to do it that way. And so I have decided to keep it that way.
Nice. So Lucius, tell me your best Dr. Eric Chambers story.
Oh man.
Oh
boy. Well, hold on. Let me ask this. What is this show rated? G or R? No. Honestly,
and also, before you answer, Lou, I got a couple more people. I see Quick and I see Linda Jones. And so we're going to get to them in just a moment, just letting them know that I acknowledge seeing them. But go ahead.
Okay. No, oh man. There's many stories. A lot of times me and Eric will stay out and party all night.
That we did.
We try to have to make our way back to the ship.
That we did.
On time. If you didn't make it back on time, you were in trouble. So Eric was like my guardian. He was like, "Let's go, bro. Let's go." I'm like, "Okay, I'm right behind you."
I'm gonna just go in and be straight. We chase the girls internationally, and he's talking about like in the Philippines. One time we were like me, him, and another guy named Freeze. With my department, they didn't mess around because I was kind of like a derelict in the department, the way they treated me. And so if I was late, I might get written up. Man, I remember one time running all the way back to the base in the Philippines, and I got there. I got on base on time, and on the ship, I was about to have a cardiac arrest. But these guys were like dragging their feet. It's like, no, dude, y'all got it like that. I don't have it like that in my department.
Well, so, remember, don't forget you had that laundry bag over your back. Carrying that
too.
We used to take our laundry off the ship to wash it. And in the morning, we trying to hustle back on time.
That too.
And here we are running down. Look like we just robbed a bank with two sacks on it.
We call it a ditty bag.
A ditty bag,
it was the ditty bag. I'm going to let my cousin Linda Jones join us right now. Hello, Linda. Where are you calling from?
Hey, I'm calling from Homestead, Florida.
All right.
Welcome aboard. A very, very happy birthday. You're in great company. My 40-year-old just turned 40 on 12/4, so you're right there in line. My mother's birthday would have been 12/8 as well, and my baby brother's birthday is 12/14. So you guys are killing us for December.
I know. Yeah. Well, see, December is a blessing and a curse. I'm glad mine is not like December 24th.
True.
You know, I still have 15 days to Christmas, even though it didn't make that much of a difference. You know, because they like to double up and say, okay, well, this is for Christmas and your birthday.
And your birthday.
Like, why can't my birthday be in May like my daughter's or something like that? You know,
birthday. I like mine. Mine is May 14th. It's funny you picked May. I'm May 14th.
I'm May 12th. Awesome.
Oh, look at
Oh,
that.
look at-
I'm outnumbered by all these May
You're
babies.
outnumbered. Well, let's talk about our birthdays, not Eric's. We got you outnumbered.
That's right. I just popped in to tell you, it's late here. You guys are 3 hours. I don't know where rest of you are, but it's
We're all in
not-
California. Dolores
Okay.
in Oakland, Lucius is in the San Diego area, and I am here in the greater Los Angeles area. So,
And yeah, it's 9:32 here, and I've been up since I have my grandson, so I get up with him at like 7 to get him started because he's homeschooled right now due to this COVID situation. So I cracked the whip early, and both of us, we didn't take a nap today. I guess I'm at that age, right?
okay.
Right.
Oh, look, I was up editing my Christmas show until 4:00 this morning, and then I set my alarm for 8:30, and then I finally finished around noon, and then I took a nap for about 50 minutes this evening, so that I don't feel like I'm drunk, and even though I didn't drink.
I know. What is up with that?
Eric only drinks Shirley Temples anyway.
Surely, no, it used to be rum and coke, son. Get it straight now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
It was rum and coke and Tom Collins, and actually
Whoa.
NyQuil is stronger than they are, but you could not tell me I was not drunk. And I did it mainly
Social.
so that I could really to be able to cool off, because I was a dancer,
Okay.
big time dancer.
That's me. Me
Oh
too.
yeah.
Love
Yeah.
dancing.
Luch, you better
Love
tell
it.
Dolores about me, son.
Oh my God.
I won a dance
We
contest.
hit the dance floor. If we hit the dance floor, it didn't matter if we was in the Philippines, in Long
Wherever.
Beach, California, San Diego, didn't matter. We hit the dance floor. That was it.
Yeah,
Oh, without
it doesn't
question.
matter the music or anything.
Yeah, doesn't matter. We
And
come,
then
we ain't come up the
look,
floor. We're not
Dolores
coming up the
went-
floor until we're sweating.
Sweating.
When I went
Sweating,
to
not sweating. I didn't say sweating. I said sweating.
Sweating.
You're right.
and look, I won a dance contest in the No, I think I came in second in the Philippines. But when I was in Louisiana, me and a lady named Dolores Hamilton, and we won $105 first place, and that was in 1980, and we split it. And that's the way that I was able to buy my one pair of new pants for my first semester at Southern University. And so I bought some brown tweed pants back then.
Oh yeah, not the ones with the patch on it, is it? That's not the tweed with the patch, is it?
Similar, but they didn't have one.
Okay.
And also what we're going to do is I'm going to include my cousin Latanya. This is the first time I've met Linda, and she's one of my cousins.
We were in the family reunion group when we did the family reunion.
Okay, you were on that part. Okay, we've never met in person. And this lady here, we've never met in person. My cousin Latanya.
hey,
Latanya is our family historian, and she does extensive work, genealogy work, to the point where our great grandmother name was Kizzy from like in the 1800s, something like that, early.
yes.
That's what she does. So welcome aboard, cousin.
Yes, happy birthday. This is a blessing to be on here with you this evening.
Well, thank you. Thank you. It's great seeing you guys here and having you to join in the celebration. As I said in the beginning of the program, and I'm forgetting to look at my camera here, but in the beginning of the program, that I haven't had a birthday celebration since 2005 was the last one, when I was married. So I've been single for 14 years. And so it's usually me and my daughter. And after this, my daughter wants to go to, I think she said Starbucks or something like that. We hung out early, got something at Denny's, went and got my free birthday dinner there.
There you go.
My pancakes. And then what we're going to do is do a little something, little after party here in Orange County. So me and her. And then also we're going to go look at some more of the Christmas lights. We've done it several times, but since there's not much to do, we just said, you know what, let's go for a stroll, me and my baby girl.
That's nice.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yep. So Latanya, what's happening, my cousin?
Well, this has been a long day today, but I definitely wanted to wish you a happy birthday. Still doing my research with family members and that sort of thing. So, I love to be a a help for all of our family. So this is always a fun time, and just wanted to say thank you for being who you are, Eric. The book Dining with the Ancestors, if you all don't know, has on the cover, it has my great aunt, my grandfather's eldest sister on that cover, that book. So everyone on that cover is related to us, and they're all
To us.
Eric's. Yeah, to us. Yeah, Linda's my first cousin.
Okay.
So he's Eric has done a phenomenal job, and our Johnson Jordan family is so very proud of him and his accomplishments. He's such a humble person and is always there for everyone whenever we need him. So he's just such a loving person. So, and I know your Uncle Ed, cousin Ed, is very excited about you. That was one of my dad's best friends, and
Awesome.
we just love you, Eric. And we just want to
Well,
wish
thank
you the
you.
best
Yep.
for the future.
I concur.
I appreciate it. And we have Sylvia Vines, she sent a comment here, sending love and birthday wishes to blessings, Eric J. Thank you for all you do for so many. You are a blessing. May God continue to pour out his bountiful blessings. I just met Sylvia. I got introduced to her music, I guess, a couple of months ago. And now she's like one of the most played artists that I play. She's an independent artist out of Chicago by way of Louisiana and Arkansas. And her sound is very similar to Fantasia.
Oh,
And so when I played her music, people have thought she was Fantasia. And so, and she's what I call a jazzful artist. And so, it's always exciting to be able to, just be a blessing in the lives of other people as well, And also, earlier, I got a birthday greeting from my dear sister friend, Dawn Lewis. Let's take a look at that. You ready?
yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Let's hear what Dawn had to say.
Hey there, Dr. Eric Chambers. It is Dawn Lewis, and I am wishing you the happiest of birthdays. God's continued blessings, my friend. I am so proud, and I am so fortunate to know you and have you in my life. You are one of the most amazing human beings I have ever met. Your commitment, your integrity, your laughter, your sense of style, yes, is all fire. Happy birthday, Eric. Continued blessings. Bye.
Oh,
Well, that is my sister friend, Dawn
That
Lewis.
was
I love
fun.
Dawn. And I called her on my way from Pasadena last night. And by the time I got home, she had already done that for me. So I appreciate her.
that was
Awesome.
fantastic and well deserved.
That is awesome.
Well, thank you.
She looks good too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Dawn is still doing her thing, because she was telling me that even in the pandemic, she's been very busy doing like voiceovers for animation movies and stuff like that. So for people who have jobs like that, it's business, it's par for the course. It's business as usual.
Yeah.
And so so that was from Dawn. Let's see if we have any more comments. And Latanya, so the book she was talking about, Dolores, you've seen it, Dining with the Ancestors. And that's how I connected with her. Believe it or not, there are a lot of people who saw the front cover of this book. There's a lot of people who saw the front cover of this book. And that's how I got connected with a bunch of them online, because they have it in their house. And so there's been a handful of people that, because of it, I was able to connect with them. And that's how we found out that we were kinfolk.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
The whole
That's awesome.
concept, when you first told me about the book, I do get the inside scoop when Eric is working on it. But when you first told me about the concept, I was like, who would think of something like that except for my good friend Eric Chambers? But when it came to fruition and the caliber of entertainers you had in the book, I was like, nobody but Eric. That is an amazing book, Eric. And I'm waiting for the movie version.
Okay. That's what the plan is.
From your mouth to God's ears.
Yeah.
That, and also the documentary. Out of about 350 or so people that I interviewed, I have about 325, maybe even 330 of them on tape.
Wow.
And so, and people like Gladys Knight and Taraji P. Henson. And one of the most exciting interviews that I had was, in fact, my most exciting interview for the entire book. I interviewed people like, I got Tyler Perry in there, Morgan Freeman, Kendrick Lamar. But the person that I enjoyed the most actually was Suge Knight.
Wow.
Wow.
I sat at the table with Suge and his daughter, Suge and his wife and his son for about 45 minutes at the Beverly Hills Hotel. And ironically, I met Suge a year earlier, right here at the Brea Mall here in Orange County. And I saw him, and from a distance, I was like, that looks like Suge Knight. And I said, let me go over there and see. Because here in Brea, it ain't but, 4 or 5 black folk here anyway. It's like a black man sighting here, So
It's like where I'm at in Temecula. Same thing in Temecula.
Yep. So it was a sighting, and I went over and I said, hey, Suge, what's up? What you doing here? And he said he had some family there. And then a year later, I ran into him at the Beverly Hills Hotel, and I reintroduced myself. And he said, yeah, I remember. He said, how, because I had told him about the book I was working on. He said, how's your project coming along? And I said, actually, it's coming along well.
Having trouble with my audio, guys. There we go. Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, and he said that it was coming along. I told him it was coming along well. And next thing I know, I told him that Gladys Knight had said she would want to dine with Dr. King, who was her cousin.
Oh,
and so, yeah. And she said, I would like to have dinner with him again. And so when that happened, he invited me to come in. He was in his private room because he had gone outside to take a smoke break. And there his wife and his son. And there I am for 45 minutes, fist bumping with him, laughing and joking. And it was just amazing. And so that's what I tell people, that you just never know people until you get a chance to be in their space, away from the camera and the lights. And I saw a different person than what we see in the media.
Yeah.
And, his family, in fact, he was telling me that his, and I put it in the book, that he said that his family is from Vicksburg, Mississippi, on both sides, his grandmother and grandfather's side. And he told me that he loved gospel music, but he didn't like gospel rap, which I found to be quite interesting.
Oh yeah, I agree with that one. I like gospel, but I can't seem to get the two. I know they have to reach everybody, but I just can't get into the gospel rap.
Oh yeah, and so I'm looking at some more of the texts that have come in. My friend Takia Crystal Kima from In Living Color, she sent me a greeting, and I spoke to her yesterday, but she's been really busy. And I reached out to various other people. And I said, whosoever will, let him or her come. And we're going to go with who goes with me. And I'm glad that you guys are here. Anybody else want to add anything? Any questions that you have?
Well, I just want to say, first of all, the fact that you got that 45 minutes out of Suge Knight just testimony to who you are as a person. Because, I've been in entertainment since I was 19. And entertainers feel a vibe when it comes to people. And you're one of those people that immediately you feel comfortable. The first time you ever called me, first time we were talking, immediately felt comfortable with you. And you have that spirit about you that brings comfort, and people want to open up to you, and you're likable. And that's one thing I always tell my kids when I go and speak, you have to be likable. And that's nothing I can teach you. It has to come from the soul. And Eric, you have that. Like I said in the beginning, you're a giver and you're a doer of the word. So it really has an effect. Some people want to say, oh, Hollywood is full of demons and, that's not what God wants for you. But God places us in all types of positions so people can see that light that he's given you. So I'm just blessed to know you and know that your light is always shining. And that's why you're so well received by people.
True. That's very true. Eric has that personality. I could see when you talk about you run into a person like Suge Knight, we all have that negative connotation of him when we think of Suge Knight. We always hear the bad stuff, right? And we know he's in prison now. But to say that you hung out with him for 45 minutes and the conversation was really good and you got to see another side of him, that speaks a lot about you, actually, more so.
Eric, I think you're muted.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, you're on.
Suge eating these big old crab legs, and his wife had, right? And so we were cracking up and laughing, and we couldn't give dap because he had grease all over his hands, butter. And so we were fist bumping like that. It was so much fun. And I said, Suge, I said, you should let me do an interview with you so that people can see this side of you. And look, and check this out. When I met Suge Knight here in the Brea Mall in 2013, that day, Dolores, he gave me his cell phone number. And then when we were in the meeting a year later, when I ran into him, he said, you still have my number? And I said, let me see. And I checked. He said, yeah, that's it. He said, I got in some trouble in Vegas. They took my phone, but I'll have it back on Tuesday. So call me. And that was in November of 2014. And he got in trouble in January 2015.
Wow.
The trouble that he's in
Eric,
now.
Eric, that transcends through our history because our family, the Jordan and Johnson, I can speak from the Johnson side. I'm sure Tanya can back me up on this. We're very hospitable and kind and cordial family anyway. We open up the door for any and everyone. My mother had 3 kids. She raised 12. It's just we're just those kinds of people. We're huggers and we're givers and we're just kind people, and that transcends. It goes through, I think, our legacy and how we were taught and brought up. And I don't know any other way to be. I can't be. I try to be mean, and it doesn't even feel right. Like I can't swing it.
When people ask me, they say, Eric, how do you become friends with people like the Howard Hewitts and the Don Lewis and Harpo? Is like one of my best friends. And when he and I get together, in fact, one of the reasons that I was late editing my show is Harpo called me, I think Monday night at 11:30, and we on the phone till 2:00 laughing like fools when I need to be editing. And then I stopped at his house yesterday when I was there, and I'm going to play a video clip from him in just a moment. And but I tell people, if you ever want to get in the graces of anybody, especially celebrities, learn to serve.
Yes.
Because when I approach them, I don't ask them to do anything for me. I say, look, I have a radio show. I had a national TV show that was available in 86 million households. How can I be of service to you? And even like Howard Hewitt and Howard got his honorary doctorate, through me last year, just like with you, Dr. Dolores. And I talked to Howard, I think Sunday morning. I think it was Sunday I talked to him. And then also I play him on the air a lot. And he told me years ago when I was on the air, about 7 years ago, he told me that according to SoundScan, his #1 market of selling his music was San Diego.
Wow.
Because I was playing Howard every week. But it's about relationship.
Yes.
And then there have been times when Hurricane Katrina happened, and I wanted to do a fundraiser at my church in San Diego, St. Stephen's. And guess what? Howard Hewitt came to San Diego, and he did the performance at the church with a debilitating toothache.
Wow.
And then he had to fly out. He was scheduled to fly to Houston that weekend. We had the event on a Thursday, and he was scheduled to fly out to Houston that day, but he changed his schedule to do it to fly out of San Diego, and he left out the next morning. And so, but like I said, I would text Howard and same thing with Harpo and all those guys. And I was even pleased when I discovered a video of Harpo being interviewed I think it was in Detroit. And he was talking about me and my book to another guy. He was like, oh, one of my buddies, one of my best friends wrote a book. And so you just never know how people feel about you. But it was great to see that it was reciprocated. And I see we're going to add one other person here to the mix. My friend Susan. This is my BFF since 1984.
Hey.
And she is in San Diego. What's up, Susan?
Nothing much. How y'all doing? Happy birthday, Jerome.
Hi.
Hey, I am on the run, but I couldn't miss this moment. I could not miss this because you are just amazing. I love everything you do. I'm supporting you, and you look good for your age, bro. Just like you looked when I met you.
Well, look, Susan has been my BFF since 1984. And,
Wow.
and she sung in both of my weddings. I got one more I do in me. So, Susan, I might need you one more time.
I'm so there.
I might need you well, preferably just one last time.
One more time.
And but Susan
got
is a
you.
phenomenal singer, actress, playwright, and she's also, her husband is a pastor at a church in San Diego.
Yeah.
And she's just an amazing person there.
Thanks, Jerome.
Hey, don't be calling me by my middle name, girl. So, but I appreciate you. What you're coming from? Is it Bible study or something?
No, I have another one of these with the group that I'm in as well.
That's
so I'm
right.
trying to hop in between both on the virtual thing, and then I got to get the grandbaby, so I'm in the car. So that's what I'm doing. But I didn't want to miss, so I'm gonna jump out. But I wanted to say I love you. God bless you. And
I love
happy
you too.
birthday to all of your wonderful friends. You guys look amazing, and I'm just so happy to be connected to Eric J, because he's connected to all of y'all wonderful people. So God bless you all.
God bless you.
And so you guys, Susan has been one of my most ardent supporters, you know, from whether I do concerts or whatever the case. She has been a ride or die for me. And I've known her since 1984.
84.
And,
Wow.
so we've been rolling for a long time. And it's just been nonstop. It's been nonstop. Just one of my best friends in the whole wide world. And I'm, you know, what I'm grateful of, she's a phenomenal wife, a mother, grandmother, all of that stuff. But I'm also blessed that her husband allows her to still be my best friend. Because, you know, a lot of times when people get married, they want you to divorce your friends. No. And then once you divorce them, then your friends are gone too, you know?
Yeah.
So, but I'm blessed that my dear friend here and her husband, and there are times when I would call for Susan and me and her husband end up on the phone for 2 hours. So I haven't had conversations with him in a long time, but that has literally happened. I'm calling for Susan, and they're me and him talking for 2 hours. Oh, tell her I, you know, but tell her I called. So, and so give you my regards. But again, it's about relationship, family. That's what it's about. You know, as you guys talk about, whether it be celebrities, just like Mac, when you were talking about me meeting Suge Knight. And Susan, if you have to pop out, you can do it if you like.
Good night, you guys.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
But just as he was talking about me with Suge Knight, when I see the celebrities, I treat them just like you guys, anybody else, because that's who they are.
Exactly.
I only allowed myself to fanboy.
CEOs, same thing.
I only allowed myself to fanboy with one guy. That's Morgan Freeman right there over my shoulder. The glare has got him. But the night before I met Morgan Freeman, it felt like Christmas Eve. Like, wow, tomorrow I'm going to finally get a chance to meet him. And then after the interview, it was a press conference type thing. And they told us no pictures. And
what did you do?
The Bible says obedience is better than sacrifice, but I had to sacrifice it that day. And so, look, he was standing there at the elevator, and his manager and everybody else was walking past them. And I just went up to him. I said, Morgan, I said, look, I've waited all my life for this moment. Can I have a picture with you?
That's right.
And he said, sure. And his manager is the one who shot the picture for us.
Awesome.
Awesome.
And then I also told him, I said, you know, my last name is Chambers. And I said, in one of my favorite movies of his is The Bucket List. And his name was Carter Chambers in the movie. And I said, it's kind of like you were my dad in that movie. And so he got a chuckle out of that because, you know, his name was Carter Chambers and that's my last name. So, but that's what I do. You know, again, the key is just learn to serve. And when you meet people respectfully, I've only had like maybe only one person that I'm not that fond of, and that was Gabrielle Union. I'll just say her name. You know, the two times that I tried to meet her, she was kind of standoffish and everything. But for the most part, you know, nothing
you guys
against
know
her.
What that mean?
nothing against her, but at the same time, it was just she's kind of like the only one out of all of Hollywood that I had any kind of situation where they kind of brush you off. And so I'm not a big fan of hers. I used to be. And but everybody else that I've gotten a chance to meet, you know, they've been great, you know, because like I said, I'm just a country boy from Pearl River, Louisiana.
But
and
Eric,
when I go and meet the people, I just meet them just because most of them come from small places.
Right.
They do. Didn't Morgan come from? He's from Mississippi.
He's from
right?
Mississippi. Yeah.
That's right.
but you know what, Eric, you've also been known to advocate for other Black media outlets on the red carpet. I know you've been very vocal on their behalf, even though the celebrities might stop for you. They get to a point where they don't want to stop for other people because they're trying to get to the bigger name stations. And you have actually spoke out on behalf of some of the other Black media outlets saying this is not cool.
I did in the NAACP Image Awards. They were ticked off at me for a long time. And but I told on them. And because in 2011, what happened was a couple of my colleagues, here I have a national television show. 86 million households it's available in, plus international. And they were tripping with me, and I couldn't get a credential a lot of times. And this particular year, I was like, okay, you know, I won't even go. I had about 2 or 3 of my colleagues, you know, they reached out to me because they're smaller, you know, publications and independent. And they felt that I had way more pull than they do because they're local as where I was international, which was true. And so what I did is I wrote a letter to the it was an open letter to the NAACP, and I talked about their publicity company. I said what publicists wanted to say, but they were afraid to.
Right.
But see, I'm kind of like with Shirley Chisholm, unbought and unbossed.
I
And
know
when you
that's
have
right.
your own entity, you don't have to worry about that. And so, and like I said, even with the Emmys and Golden Mike Awards and everything that I won at CBS, that was a blessing. But the best thing that CBS ever did for me was they let me go.
Okay.
You know, I was there for 6 years, and that's why Dolores, when people tell me they lost their job, I don't lament over it. I say congratulations. Now you can go be about our Father's business.
All right, man.
That's right.
See, CBS was holding me down. You know, the things that I wanted to do there, they wouldn't let me do it. I was an editor there.
No,
I wanted to do on-air
it's
stuff.
Corporate.
And so what happened was about a year and a half after I left there, that's when I developed and, you know, created my Jaspel TV show. And you're right, Dolores, I use it as a platform. And what happened is not only did I have an issue with the NAACP, but check this out. It created change.
Yeah.
Because they had a guy who was not Black, who was the executive producer for about 25 years. And now Reginald Hudlin is now one of the EPs of it. And when I saw Reginald at the Image Awards earlier this year, I told him what happened. And I said, as a result of that, they let him go. I didn't do it for them to fire him, but I just said, we have too many Black people who are capable for you not to have Black people in those positions. You know, just like with the publicity. You know, why do you need a non-Black publicity company? If Dolores' company is not big enough, get Dolores, get Linda and Lou, and let them create a boutique together, a large company. These 3-4 boutiques, and so that's what happened. And so I'm when it comes to that, and then over my shoulder here is also a picture of like up here you can see a little bit of it, but it's a picture there on the wall up there of me and Sister Rosa Parks. That's a 20 by 30 inch poster. And so when I do what I do, I'm thinking about them. I'm thinking about Emmett Till's mom, Mrs. Mamie Till Mobley, who was my surrogate grandmother. You know, even with the election this year, that's who I was thinking about. Because when I voted, I didn't vote just for the future. I voted for the present, and I also voted for our heroes of the past.
Yes. Come on now.
You know, who would they advocate for?
Right.
But nevertheless, like I said, I never knew that would go viral like it did. And I had look, and there's a lady, a reporter from New York called me, and she interviewed me. She was a Puerto Rican lady. She interviewed me for a major publication there in New York regarding that Image Awards thing. And after we hung up, she called me back and she said, Mr. Chambers, I admire you.
Yeah.
I said, well, you know, look, and I mentioned Sister Rosa, I mentioned Mrs. Mamie Till Mobley, and I said, what I do not just for me, but I'm doing it for the people. And everybody can't be scared.
That's
No.
I
right.
ain't the one.
Right.
Okay.
You know, I'm not going to disrespect people, but I ain't the one when it comes down to that. And so, and the same thing with BET. They were tripping about a couple of years later, and they didn't want to do the credentials, and they had heard about me. And so what happened was,
You getting blacklisted?
what happened is the lady who was in charge of publicity and stuff, she wanted to offer me tickets. I said, ma'am, this is not even about tickets, because when I come and y'all even give us tickets, most of the time I don't even go to the show. I just go do what I do as a media person, and I bounce and go watch it on TV. I said, it's not about you
scenes.
trying to coerce me with tickets so that I will be quiet.
No.
And look, and then they threatened not to give me credentials. I said, you know what? We're going to do an episode, but we're going to do it right in front of your gate. And I want you guys to explain to the nation why BET is not allowing black media to cover their event.
Right.
She got scared.
That's right.
Next thing I know, I got credentials. You shouldn't have to come down to that. And look, as a red carpet reporter, I've had to sneak on a few, like when I interviewed Will Smith. You know, I was with my assistant and they wouldn't credential us, but the lady told me the night before she'll see. And I saw her at the event. And so as long as she said she'll see, as long as she didn't say no. So you're saying there's a chance, LaTanya. All I need is 1%. All I need is 1% of daylight.
1%.
And she gave me that. Nice. And so my assistant was with me. And I said, there is an opening. You ready? She said, I'm with you. Let's do it.
There you go.
And we went out there, and next thing you know, I had the guy from CNN. He had his mic, and he was holding my microphone at the same time. And so they couldn't kick us out until the interview was over. You know, and the same thing on the 42, Jackie Robinson.
Oh, wow.
In that situation where, in fact, that's where the lady said there's a chance. And I said, okay, if you said there's a chance, I'm going to show up. And I believe that if there's a chance, we're going to get in. And when we saw that opening, that little gate opening, she had her head down like this. I looked at my assistant, Lisa. I said, you ready? Go. Lisa said, I'm with you. And we got out there. Chadwick Boseman was there because he played Jackie Robinson.
Yeah, Jackie Robinson.
In fact, a lot of the interviews like that are in my book, Matt Barnes and Gloria Govan, Naturi Naughton, you know, that's where I got those interviews in the book on that black carpet. So you can't be scared, because there are going to be times in which you are not going to get the opportunity to, you know, where they're going to say no. And I don't, you know, do it to go and, you know, just break the law. It's not even breaking the law, but to break their protocol. But sometimes I need to do that. And then there's a picture at the NAACP Image Awards. I saw Sidney Poitier, Harry Belafonte, and my man Louis Gossett Jr.
Wow.
The picture is in my book. But what happened was there was these young white kids who were interns, and they didn't know. They were just old black men to them. To me, that was a shot for history.
Uh-huh.
And I got the shot, even though they were saying, oh, you're not supposed to be back here. I got it. It's in my book. I got it. Because like I said, I'm thinking in terms of history. I'm thinking, you know, it's not every day you get this shot. You see this opportunity on top of that with these guys getting older, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
So you know, so doing what I do, you know, sometimes you have to be a renegade. And in fact, you know, I'm on 98.1, but I got fired from my news director position at 98.1 for being a renegade. I've never said that before, but I got fired from it. What happened is Tony Dorsett was in town in San Diego, and I loved Tony Dorsett as a football player when I was a Cowboy fan as a kid. And I wanted to do this interview. Well, I did this interview with him, but the station manager, general manager, and owner, Bruce Walton, he died last year, Bill Walton's brother. And he said, no more actualities. he didn't want me to put no more interviews on the air. And I was like, man, this is Tony Dorsett. This is going on there. I put Tony on that morning and that afternoon. They're like, Eric, you're out as news director. But it turned out to be a blessing because that's when I started doing the Jaspel show.
Nice.
They didn't kick me completely to the curb. So that opened the door for me doing the Jaspel 26 years later, still. And then also I hosted a show called Issues and Answers. And I love doing that show. It was a public affairs show. So I love doing those way more than I love doing morning drive news. And so in all of those shows, especially Issues and Answers, it prepared me for such a time as this to be able to, interview people who are, just be able to interview people. I see my friend Patricia Craig. I think she's going to try to come on. I don't see a picture from her, but I see that she's on, and we'll see if anybody else pops up. And let's see if there's any more comments that have come in.
I got to tell you real quick, Eric, when you say we getting, so one of my former broadcast students, I'm a broadcast instructor too. She came back from, I think it was the NAAC Image Awards, and she had pictures. And I said, wait a minute, that's my friend Eric. How do you know him? She said, me and my mama, he snuck us in.
Oh, you must be talking about Aaliyah.
Yeah, she said we were just there as fans.
Right.
He snuck us in backstage.
Yeah, Aaliyah and Edna. Okay, yeah, that's right.
So funny.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, that's right. They were there, and I said, you know what? I'll get you guys in. Just be patient with me. And I've done the jailbreak thing on several occasions, and but if you
we do that too.
But if you're determined, and just like that day when I saw Will Smith, he was doing Hancock, a presser for that. It was a red carpet, and I was just surveying the thing because usually the first thing I do when I get to the red carpet is I survey the place so that I can see first of all the position where we are. And I take a look at my surroundings. And then if I'm not already credentialed, I'm sitting there looking and see where I can breach their security.
You so cool.
And I've done it. And, but I do it because I have a job to do. I said, like with the lady at with Will Smith, that's the only time that I've had a chance to interview him.
Wow.
And I say, look, she didn't care that I had a national television show. And look, the same thing happened at the ESPY and ESPY Awards. I had to get on their case, and I threatened to tell them that I was going to go on my show and say, guess what? The ESPY don't want no Black folk on their show, on their red carpet, because you got 400 news media there and maybe 3 Black people.
Wow.
Right.
Eric is the Kanye West of
broadcast communication.
Broadcast communication.
Yeah, and see, in that case, like with the ESPYs, I had been applying for years to no avail. And I went the day before this time, and then I went and still trying to negotiate, and they wouldn't do it. And then that's when I just said, you know what? I'm telling on y'all on national TV.
That's right.
Guess what? I got
snitch.
A credential.
That's it.
And then I talked to like Michael Irvin, used to play for the Cowboys.
Oh, wow.
Various other people. I forgot who some of the
boy.
other artists. But I told them, I said, look, I had to fight to get here. And he said, man, thank you. That's what Michael Irvin told me.
Oh, he a Miami boy. He don't play. He do not play. That brother loves his roots down here. He don't even play with you. He tell you quick.
Well, that's awesome. But but like I said, I've had to do that with people. And, I haven't covered the Grammys or the Oscars. Part of it is because I haven't had quite the will to do it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's a way, but I when it came to like the Image Awards, BET Awards, so those are my people.
Right.
Yes.
And it didn't make sense. And then look, when I was at the ESPYs one year, I got a national doggone television show, and I'm standing next to a 15-year-old kid who just started a white kid who had just started his internet show.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, how does this make sense that here I am 9 Emmys and Golden Mics, a national television program that reaches across the
And you're
globe.
standing next
And
to
I
a
got to
YouTuber.
fight and scrap. He
With a
wasn't even a
YouTuber.
YouTuber then.
Oh, he
Okay,
was
it
on
was
internet.
yeah. Well, he was doing something, but he was, just started his show. And then also there have been times at the BET Awards. I remember going there one time, and I had to fight and scrap and scrape. And I'm standing next to some cute sister with a mini skirt and high heel shoes, and looked like she just bought a throwaway camera at 7-Eleven on her way there.
Wow.
Like, how does this make sense?
Wow.
I've got the
doesn't,
evidence,
cousin.
and I've even had to take out my phone and show them stuff on YouTube on my phone.
Wow.
And say, look, this is evidence of what I've done. And then afterwards, because I'm still observing people, because one of the things that I do, y'all, when I get on the red carpet, if I'm standing next to you guys, I introduce myself.
Right.
Hi, Dolores, I'm Eric J. Hi, Lou, I'm Eric J. We're going to be working here elbow to elbow. Let's be family.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
Let's not hold up, the celebrities too long, because
Right.
I've been on the carpet where you had people want to just take up all of their time, and you
All
only
their
have 2 to 3
time.
minutes with them. And so I try to
Right.
be, very, I try to be courteous, because say, for instance, it's 7-Eleven now. So say, for instance, the show is starting at 7:20, and you guys still want to interview
Mhm.
so-and-so. So I said, okay, just give me a couple of quick questions. And then there are times like when I interviewed Kendrick Lamar, they're going to rush me. Here I got a national doggone TV show, and they go say, okay, one question. I said, okay, well, the one question I'm going to ask is my question for my book. If you could dine with anyone from history, it ain't
Okay.
going to be about you now.
There you
Right.
go.
Right.
It ain't going to be about the BET Awards. You said I got one question, and Kendrick loved the question.
Mm.
Nice.
And so that's the way I operate.
He seems like a cool dude too.
He is.
Yeah.
So let's look at a couple more comments. We have something here from Piano Praiser. Happy birthday, Eric. May you continue to flourish and achieve your desire. Well, thank you, Piano Praiser. I've never met her before, and this is the first time I've seen her, but I appreciate your comment, Piano Praiser. So
nice.
And I saw a couple other people who were trying to get on, but thank you guys for, hanging in here with me. We're going to go for a few more minutes. And if anybody got to bow out, I understand. But this has been fun. It beats being here all by myself on my birthday. And then
And
those
it's coronavirus. Blame it on the virus.
Yeah, it's the virus.
That's all you got to do.
Virus.
Yep. And so I'm upgrading this other. Let me refresh my other page and see if there's any comments there. Because usually people have comments as well. And
well, this is a busy month indeed. So my daughter just got her master's today.
Oh, nice. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Yes.
From the University of Miami. So it's been busy. She's a single mom. She worked 2 jobs and she got her master's. So I'm very proud of her.
Yeah.
Wow, excellent.
Yeah. So this has all been going on this week. Her birthday was the 4th, and then they pushed her back twice, and then it ended up being virtual because of COVID down here. So she put on her cap and gown. I said, "You better put on that cap and gown and that hood." I want it all.
Absolutely.
That's amazing.
Well, that's awesome. Yeah, because this. Let me ask you guys this: what do you think about we're on the verge of having our first female vice president? What do you guys think about that?
That's awesome. I'm so psyched.
Happy. Excited.
I'm so psyched about that. I just want to see
amazing.
what's going to happen with women's, like our intuition and how we manage at that level. And Kamala's great. I love her. I get a good vibe from her. So
she's going to be the first president. She'll end up being the president.
She will.
I think so. I think so.
Cousin, I have my
model.
I think that's the model. And cousin, I'm so excited that my decorations are pink and green, and I'm not even outside of my home, and I'm not even an AKA.
Awesome.
So I have lights of pink and green. There was like, why do you have pink? I said, it's all about
Why
Kamala.
did I do that? It's got to be all about that, right?
Yeah, I'm not an AKA, but I'm just celebrating. I don't usually put lights out, but I put them out this year, and I said, "Oh, pink and green. Hey, we're celebrating."
Awesome.
So, yeah.
Yep,
I can't wait.
I'm super excited for her because of the fact that just the history, and not even just as a black woman, but just as a female.
Right.
As a
You know,
female, yeah, I
because
was
we've had white men have been running this country for over 400
Hundreds
years,
of years. Shit.
and
right.
so it's
Hundreds of
time for
years.
change.
Yeah.
And look at what
And our
happened. Say, for instance,
perspective.
with the coronavirus in New Zealand, they have a female
Yes.
prime minister, and she got things done.
Right.
And
Right.
none. There's
And
no. There
and
are
you
there
have
any
people,
cases?
huh?
I don't think so.
They don't
There
have
are
any
no
cases.
cases.
No, yeah, they because of, like I said, with leadership, and that's what we need. Sometimes, I think we're going to be in for a beautiful awakening by having a woman in charge in that position.
Yes.
Because women get things done. Why do you think most men have women as their secretaries?
That's
Because
right.
women get things done. They have a history of getting stuff done.
Mm-hmm.
They're more disciplined a lot of times with a lot of guys, and than a lot of guys, and so I'm looking forward to it. I've never met her. I did see her at the Taste of Soul here in LA, the same place I think you and I met, Dolores. I
Okay.
saw her when she was campaigning for Attorney General for the state a few years ago.
Okay.
And I saw her there, and I regret that I didn't now go over and take a picture with her and at least meet her. But I was there like covering, I was covering stuff for my television program at the time. And, but I'm super thrilled for her. And I'm thrilled for all
Yes.
of the women who look up to her. I'm thrilled for my
Right.
daughter,
Yes.
and
Oh,
the
yeah.
young girls,
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
who
yeah.
knew, growing up, I never knew that we would end up having a black president. I'm still kind of like in awe that
No.
Yeah.
not only did it happen once, but it happened twice.
Right.
Twice.
Right.
I'm still like, yo, if I'm
Twice.
dreaming, just let me sleep,
Okay.
because I'm not sure if sometimes it's like that, but also with her, and it's only right that she is the person, that it's a person of color who ended up, in this position.
Yeah. It's amazing.
She and for them to try to diminish her and her
Oh,
abilities.
they can't diminish that one. That's an islander.
No.
Her dad's
No.
Right.
Jamaican. They're not going to diminish that one. She's a fighter. Okay,
She's
she's
legit.
got that fighter in her.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Okay. Let me just ask you guys something. What are some of your fondest Christmas memories? That's one of the questions I asked some of the celebrities who are going to be on the show. And I want to know, what are some of your fondest memories of Christmas?
Mine's were my fondest Christmas memory is when I first had my two children, and they were old enough to understand Christmas, and we celebrated.
Oh.
That was good for me. That's what I enjoy. Yeah, I miss that now. I mean, my daughter's in college, UCLA now, and then my son is a sophomore in high school. So Christmas is a little bit different now. But back then, I enjoyed that.
Yep.
I think my fondest was trying to find that one toy. That was the hot toy. Everybody can relate to this one. Trying to find that hot toy of that year.
Don't say,
And I
yeah.
always, my kids always wanted that hot toy.
Right.
So
Was it like Elmo and
Tickle Me Elmo.
Cabbage
one
Patch?
was
Remember the Cabbage Patch?
Doll.
Right.
People were having fits trying to
year
find
was
those.
Elmo. One year was a Barbie a horse with the corral, the
Right.
Barbie horse, and she wanted the horse with the cart corral. That all of them were. I'm like, are you guys punking me? What's going on? I don't understand. I would go to the store and the shelves were clean. Couldn't
Right.
find it anywhere, and then I would always manage to find a way to manage to get that doll, whether it be the week of Christmas or a couple of days before. But somehow Mama always managed to get it done. So those are my
See,
my
that's what we
memories.
just talking
My
about.
fond
See,
ones.
that's what Eric just said. See, women get it done. You don't stop until you get it done. There you go. That's proof right there.
Well, Linda may not remember mine, but my fondest memory was when my mom, I think I must have been like 6, and my mom told me who Santa Claus was, which was my dad. And she swore to me, she made me make a promise not to let my dad know. And Linda knows how our grandparents and my aunts and all of them like were crazy about Santa Claus. And I had I had to help her put stuff together because I love to read. And so I would help my mom put the things together when my dad was out or whatever, hanging out with his, with my aunt and all his friends. And I would help her put the things together for my little brother. And so I had to pretend like I didn't, that I didn't know who Santa Claus was. So
our family was crazy, guys.
I mean, really crazy.
The sleigh marks in the snow. They ate the cookies.
Yeah.
They did the whole shot. I mean, from every illusion, the whole nine. Everything you could think Santa did, they did.
Yeah, how about you,
We
Dolores?
used to do that. I used to put the ash. I take the ash from the fireplace and touch my kid's face. And they wake up and they have it on their face. That's from Santa. Santa came down the chimney.
Santa did that.
I'm telling you, they went
Santa did that.
They went in. And Tommy, you knew the whole time. I didn't find out till I was like 8. So I was way behind the 8 ball.
Wow.
I was like, I didn't know until my dad came up in the basement with my bike and I saw him. I was downstairs trying to get some cookies. And I saw the wheel coming up through the basement. I'm like, wait, this is the day before Christmas. This is Christmas Eve. I'm like, oh, Santa's coming. Let me turn around. And then I heard him talk. And that kind of busted the bubble for me. But then I had to pretend because they were so psyched at the fact that we were clueless that I had to pretend from 8 on that Santa, really? I mean, the whole sleigh marks and all. I would go out and say, come out here, let me show you.
Was this in
what Santa did.
This was in Rockford, Illinois.
This was in Rockford, Illinois. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
They would take pipes or whatever and make sleigh tracks or drag a sleigh. I don't know what they did, but they were something else.
You know what, you guys? I make 58 today, and I've only seen snow twice in my life.
Wow.
And I've never seen real snow where it sticks to the ground.
No.
I was in Milwaukee. One time it snowed in Louisiana when I was a kid, and it stuck for about 15 minutes. And then when I was in Milwaukee in 2010, I woke up overnight and it was snow on the ground. But like by 1 o'clock in the afternoon, it had melted.
No,
it was that time of year.
In my lifetime to share with all of you. You Californians. Let me say that I've had enough in my lifetime, and walked in enough, and shoveled enough, and scraped enough. That's why I'm in Florida.
And I'm in South Carolina.
And we're in California.
We're all you're only an hour away from Big Bear.
And it's
snowed there.
Yeah. That's the good thing about it is I've been up that way once.
You guys can go see snow.
Yeah,
go see it and come home.
And that's right.
Yep.
I did that mission where I went from Big Bear one day. I drove from Big Bear, saw snow, drove all the way to the beach, and put my foot in the water.
Wow.
Just to say I went from the snow to the beach in the same day, just to do it.
Yeah, you can do that here. How about you, Dolores?
Yeah.
All of my memories, just being in the house with my entire family are so special and precious. I think the last Christmas I spent with my mom in 2017 before she passed would probably be the most special Christmas that I had.
And you know what blessed me is when you told me that your mother loved my book.
Yes, she did. Yes, she did.
That was so awesome.
I wanted to meet you. I don't know why I never called you and let you talk to her. She wanted to talk to you. I don't know why I did. But yeah, she wanted to talk to you. I was like, Mom, I know him.
Yo, I'm gonna before I forget, I'm gonna see if this one that I did with Willard Pugh is gonna play. I was having some issues with it, and what I'm gonna do is let me see. I guess I'll go. Let me see. I'll see if it'll play over this because I had an issue with the composition. But let's see what happens.
Okay.
Hello, I am Willard Pugh. Some people call me Harpo. I just want to say happy Dr. Eric J. Chambers. 26 years on the radio and TV. Love you, brother. Keep doing what you're doing and stay safe.
That is my buddy right there.
He is funny.
And like I said, when we get together, Lord have mercy. We did this thing. We did one of these. He and I, just the two of us, almost 2 hours one day over the summer. But you talking about a funny guy, man? That guy is hilarious because he will have your side cracking, and that's one of my best buddies. You know,
Eric, I watched that show.
Yeah. Okay.
I did too.
He was hilarious.
That's funny.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's
yeah.
very funny.
Yeah. So him, and then of course, remember Nettie from The Color Purple?
Oh yeah.
Akuswa Busia. Akuswa, I met her before I met Willard, and Akuswa is one of my dear friends. She was actually in my wedding back in 1999.
Oh wow.
Yeah, she was in my wedding. She did a beautiful, like a poem or something. And what's remarkable, talk about relationships again, Dolores. You know, she flew 17 hours from Ghana to come here to be in my wedding.
Oh, wow.
17 hours the night before to come here to be in my wedding. And that is my girl. You know, I rarely see her. Every now and then because she lives back in Ghana now.
Okay.
And from time to time, I think I saw her maybe about 3 years ago because I gave her one of the books and she loved it. And we were at a party. I think it was for, Louis Price with their Temptations and his wife Faye. So they were having a party. And so they're mutual friends. And so, and the way I met her, just like, you were talking about just being, just personal. I met her in 1994 at West Angeles. It was during offering time. I said, that looks like Nettie from The Color Purple. And, we were doing the walking around during the offering. And after church, I went up to her and I introduced myself and we just hit it off. She gave me her number that same day.
Wow.
And like the radio drops that you hear on my radio show where she says, hi, this is Akuswa Booth. You're listening to The Jaspel with my friend Eric J. Maybe about 6 months later, she was at my house in San Diego because I had booked her to be the Grand Marshal at a Black Heritage Parade there. And we actually did those audio drops at my kitchen table in San Diego back in 1994.
Wow. Nice.
And the same thing like with Frankie Beverly. I met Frankie Beverly at a repass. At a funeral repass. This lady, she's his publicist. Her name is Reve Gibson. Her mom had died. And I saw him there and we were all dining at the repass. And I go up and I introduced myself and I even put him on the front cover of one of my magazines. And he told me that my magazine was his first ever front cover.
Wow.
Really?
And I was in awe of that.
Wow.
And it was one of those situations where I told, because like my daughter's mom, Shauna, I met her at the Essence Music Festival in 98, right after the Frankie Beverly concert. So I was doing a story on him and I was asking her and some of her friends about their reactions about him. And when I told him that, I met my wife interviewing her and her friends about my favorite artist. Man, he absolutely loved it.
Nice.
So that is my guy there. That's my all-time favorite recording artist is Frankie Beverly. Frankie and then Michael.
Yeah.
But and Frankie hasn't recorded anything in 25 or 30 years.
Right.
But his music is timeless for the ages.
Timeless music.
Timeless.
Stevie Wonder
Everybody,
song, yeah.
my whole household, and there's decades here because my kids are spaced out. They all know Frankie because Dad loves Frankie, so they all know the different levels of Frankie. And
yeah, he just had a birthday last week.
Oh,
so we share the same birthday. So that is, there aren't really too many Hollywood like Black celebrities that I haven't met.
Mm-hmm.
And another interesting story, I was telling this to Will Downing about a month ago, is we were doing a premiere for my magazine. We were at Denzel Washington's restaurant. It was called Georgia. Remember that place, Dolores, on Melrose back in the day?
Mm-hmm.
That was the hot spot when I first came here. Everybody was at Georgia. Debbie Allen, Norm Nixon, Denzel, they were the owners of it.
Owners.
All the time.
First time I ever saw Shaq, it was at Georgia.
Wow.
But I
I
befriended
remember that place.
their manager, Brad Johnson. And again, just being personality, and then also what I did is I put their postcard in the magazine as an ad. I ran it a couple of times. And, as a result of me doing that, not only did he allow me to have my premiere there, but they catered the food for free.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
And when we were there, guess who was sitting over there by himself dining? Luther Vandross.
That's what I'm talking about.
And I go over to Luther, and he was ironically in that particular issue, that edition, from Pictures from the Essence Festival. And it was Frankie Beverly on the front. I'm looking for the magazine now. Frankie was on the front, and he told me, he said, I've never met him. I was like, really? And I was amazed that Frankie Beverly, that Luther Vandross had never met Frankie Beverly. And I had met both of them.
Wow.
And that was just amazing to me. And I just said, you know what? This is awesome. And we got one more person, another family member. This must be Jordan family night here. Our cousin, Reverend Jeanette Jordan out of Chicago. Yes. Welcome aboard.
Hi.
How are you?
Cousin.
Can she hear us?
No.
Okay, let me see. I need you to unmute your microphone. Her microphone is muted, I see. But there it is. How are you, cousin? Can you hear us? Can you hear us?
Who you talking to, Cousin Eric?
To you. There. Welcome aboard.
You talking to me?
That I am. Welcome aboard.
Hi, Pastor.
I hear you. I'm so sorry. I'm on here late. I had a counseling session, but I realized that I was going to miss my cousin's birthday, and I had to jump on here. I'm in Atlanta with Drew for the holidays, but I definitely wanted to say happy birthday to you. She doesn't even know this is going on. I'm going to see if I can find her.
Her daughter is Drew Sidora, the actress who played in remember the TLC movie?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and she's the new Peach on Atlanta Housewives.
That's right.
Is she? Okay.
That's right.
I gotta ask her first before she gets on here.
Yeah, tell her, give her cousin a birthday shout out. And you guys, look, I met her online regarding my book.
I'm trying to get her attention.
And I let her know that I was going to be in Chicago, and she hosted the best book party for me that I've ever had.
Oh, nice.
At her house in Chicago. And I had never met them before until that night. But I had posted online that I was going to be there, and she said, cousin, let's do it over here. And I was like, awesome, let's do it. And I'm forever grateful for that. And your husband, Dr. Robert Jordan. See, y'all saying Jordan, but down south in the deep south, we still say Jordan.
Jordan. And Eric says it so well.
Because, see, my grandfather was Reverend Archie Jordan.
Yeah.
Okay.
And my granddaddy.
Say hi.
And my granddaddy called us the Jordan boys. Y'all the Jordan boys.
Cousin Eric Chambers.
There is Drew. Hey, Drew.
Hey, Drew. Hi.
Come and say hi to her. Hi. Thank you. Congratulations on your new role.
Okay, she has to walk your red carpet one day, right?
Absolutely.
All right, she's ready.
Absolutely. She's doing a great job. And has her new show started? Has her appearances started yet on the Atlanta Housewives yet?
Yeah, her first appearance is going to be this Sunday. Everybody got to watch this Sunday. It premiered last Sunday. Okay. But she was not in that episode, but she'll be in probably every episode after that. So awesome. Please join in and be her support.
What channel is it on? Is it TLC?
It's on Bravo.
Bravo. Okay.
Bravo. Yes. And it comes on Sundays night. Comes on at 8:00 Pacific time. I guess that's where we are in Georgia.
No, Eastern.
Standard.
Yeah.
Eastern, yes.
So I don't know in California. I don't know what time it comes on.
Pacific. Okay, yeah. We'll be on a little bit differently, but we'll have to check that out this coming Sunday, huh?
Yeah.
Yes. She'll premiere. Her premiere will be Sunday.
Okay. Have you seen a sneak preview of it yet?
I'm sorry?
Have you seen a sneak preview of it yet?
Yeah, go to her Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah,
Instagram.
and you can see the preview. You can see this trailer.
I saw a preview. It looks like it's gonna be a wild season.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully she'll bring. I don't watch the shows, to be quite honest, because some of them have gotten to be too much for me. And but hopefully they're not. It's not one of those like where they're constantly fighting and stuff. So
let me
we'll
tell
see.
you this. I always ask God why He puts me in a platform that's outside of, maybe God's will. But God tells me that I'm supposed to be a mouthpiece for God no matter what platform I'm on. So I hope to bring something different. Of course, because Mama got to be in the show. She got to. Mama's around, so I will be in some of the episodes. But we are trying to definitely put a different.
Look, you also played in a movie with her, didn't you? Play a judge in one of her movies.
I'm sorry.
Didn't you play a judge in one of her movies?
Oh no, I played a judge in Community Service. That's the name of that movie. It was an accident. I'm not in this business, but it seems like they're always throwing me in the circle. And when they do, somebody else say, "You can do it." So yeah, I did play the judge in Community Service.
That is awesome. And then you were on the poster, so it was more than an accident. That was divine order there.
That was divine order. God, what is Jeremiah 29:11? God knows the plans He has for you. I sure don't. I just roll with it.
I know that's right. And how's Allison doing?
She's doing good. She's coming. COVID has affected so many people with anxiety and depression, and especially people that are movers and shakers. They're usually, out doing what they do, and then to be confined and do nothing, it's just not a good thing. But she is coming. She's coming around. She's had a lot of support, and so we just thank God for that.
Okay. Well, give her our best. I think I texted her on Thanksgiving, and she texted me back. So I haven't talked to her in a minute, but I see her on like Facebook and all of that. Yeah, it's about really reinventing ourselves because of the fact that, as for me, because I already was social distancing in my own island like I am now, living alone. So it wasn't that big of a deal to me, and because I already worked from home anyhow. It's basically been par for the course. So I haven't really skipped a beat, to be quite honest. If anything, it's like, okay, now people understand my world a little bit better. Right. But for those who are accustomed to being out just like she is and so many others, and I'm still accustomed to being out also. But like the last red carpet I did I did the Image Awards, and then I did a women's luncheon event. And then after that, everything got shut down. So I kind of miss the the interaction with the people to some degree, but in the meantime, what I've been doing is just developing stuff. Here, like I've beautified my place here. I just got me a brand new camera, got a brand new computer, and business. I shoot video for a couple of ministries in Pasadena, and so that has kept me busy. And so because once I shoot it, I still have to edit. Like yesterday, I shot one. Normally we do it on Thursday, but because of the birthday celebration, we did it yesterday, but I still have to have it ready for Sunday morning. So that stuff keeps me busy. Plus, I've been a full-time student since last January, and my last day of class is tomorrow, and I'm grateful. But I don't think I won't be doing full-time next semester because the business has gotten so much better.
Well,
amen.
So, but it's about us coping and everything, and so. But cousin, like I said, I was so grateful just, coming to your place. And like I said, Dolores, she didn't know me. She just met me just like these ladies. And me and LaTanya have never met in person. Right. Mm-hmm. She came out here to California once or twice, and we attempted to get together, but her work ended up, the schedule changed, and we ended up not connecting. But it's amazing. These three kinfolk here, I've met since my book came out. And my kinfolk that I've grown up with, nobody showed up.
That's amazing.
So that's truly amazing to me. That but nevertheless, even though my sister did pop up once or twice to try to get on, but I think she had a bad connection. So, and then one of my nieces tried to get on earlier to no avail. and she left. But nevertheless, like I said, you guys have made it a wonderful celebration. And so we got just a few more minutes here. Cousin Jeanette, tell me one of your fondest childhood memories.
Say it again,
from
honey.
Christmas. Tell me one of your fondest childhood memories from Christmas.
Oh my goodness. I'm trying to, because Christmas was my favorite time of the year. And I guess my fondest memories is just waking up early to see what Santa had brought me. That was the fondest time. Just going to bed early on whatever Christmas Eve was, very early, but getting up very early to see all the surprises that Santa had left me. And I was like an only child. So it was just awesome. All of my new friends, my dolls, my whatever.
Were you in Illinois or Mississippi or?
No, Chicago.
Okay.
Chicago. My mom brought me here from Louisiana. She was pregnant with me when she came here.
Okay.
So I was born in Chicago, but spent every summer until I was married at the age of 17 in Louisiana, in a little town called Coshada, Louisiana, which is 40 miles south of Freeport.
Okay. You know what I still remember?
That's what happened to us.
What I still remember when I was because look, you guys, when I went to Chicago, I dwelled with them for about 5 days at their house.
Yeah.
And like I said, that was so awesome. Your sister, she's deceased now, but
Yes.
I love talking to her. Man, she was a sports fan. How old was she when she died?
87.
And she loved her some baseball. She would sit, man, I go in her room, she's sitting there watching ESPN.
Yes. Yes, she was a sports advocate. And our whole family was, because our dad was a baseball fanatic. And he pulled for the Yankees, New York Yankees.
Okay.
And my mom and we pulled for the Chicago White Sox.
Okay.
It was very interesting when the Yankees came to Chicago. The household was not so to one another. Yeah.
But that's good. That's good that you guys had that, that kind of experience.
Oh,
My
yes.
daughter is not much of a sports fan, but maybe as she gets a little older, she'll take to it and realize that, the bonding that can take place. Like my sister-in-law, Janez, her mom's sister, she's a big-time sports fan. And I asked, how did you become such a sports fan? She said, sitting here, with her dad. And she knows football, basketball, and I think even baseball. And I love it when women love sports, man. That's a beautiful thing. I think that's even more important than being a good cook to me.
I know. Maybe she will when she's got a serious boyfriend, if he's into sports.
Probably.
That might bring her. Yeah, that might bring
Eric
her.
don't want to hear that.
Yeah, Eric don't want to hear that.
You don't want to hear that.
No, I don't mind. I know. I look forward to it. And in fact, me and her mom, I remember when we were dating in '98, we went to see the Padres and the Yankees that year. They were in the World Series, but the game was in New York, but they showed it on the big screen at San Diego Stadium. And so her mom was, I appreciated that. And even there are times when her mom wasn't into football, but she would still make like wings and stuff like that. That was a beautiful thing. Where you prepare that Sunday thing because, you can sit there. Because like in my previous administration, the previous marriage, she did not like sports.
It's administration.
And so I had to sneak and watch sports with her, rest her soul. But in the second one, she was not a big sports fan, but now, she'll still watch sports. And I think she's more into college football than pro. But that's the way to my heart is, man, if you love some pro football and some pro basketball, we can make peanut butter and jelly sandwich if we have to, or some chicken salad sandwich, or some pizza or something. So because that's what I love. You know, what I wanted to do when I was a kid, I wanted to be a pro wrestler. That's what I really wanted to do at first.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Because we used to go to the wrestling, you know, back in the day when they used to have the church buses that would go to the wrestling. And man, that's what I wanted to do. And I never filled out. I was always like real skinny. Like when I joined the Navy, I weighed like 135. So I was like, I'm not going to be able to bust nobody's carcass at 135. You know? And so I said, I'll become like an announcer for it.
Nice.
And I, you know, still watch pro wrestling from time to time, but it's not the way it used to be back in the day. It's more show now. But back in the day
now.
You know, but those are like some of the fond memories. And even with myself for Christmas, we didn't get a lot of stuff, so I don't have a lot of like fond memories. But I guess the fondest I have is that we would have pots. My mom would give us all pots, and so we would have pots, and we would in the pots we would put fruit and nuts in it. Hello, cousin. How are you? That's her other daughter.
Oh, what did I do? You turn the camera off. Oh, sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Hi,
That's
birthday.
That's my
Thank
baby.
you.
Happy
Introduce
birthday.
yourself
Hi.
to the people.
Thank you.
I was saying, introduce yourself to the rest of the people here.
Oh, I'm Adila.
You're my daughter.
Oh yeah, did he already your daughter?
Oh, you his cousin.
Yeah, that's my cousin. He already said I was your daughter. He said that's our other daughter.
That's right. And Adila, you took great care of your cousin when I came there and stayed with you guys a few years ago.
Absolutely.
And I appreciate it. We had just a wonderful time. And like I said, I had never met them until I walked into their door.
Right.
Except via online. And I stayed with them for about 5 days. And then they showed me how to catch the train to the McCormick Center. Is that the name of it? The convention center?
Yeah. Yes, McCormick Place. Yeah.
Yeah, McCormick Place. And so cousin Jeanette would just drop me off at the train station, and I would go on my own, and they would pick me up. And that was just so beautiful, those few days that I stayed there in Chicago. So I'm forever grateful for that. How are you? Are you still selling cars?
No, I haven't been selling cars for the last few years.
Okay.
I work in logistics right now.
Logistics?
Okay.
Yeah, I've been in logistics for the last few years, but I have something big coming in 2021. So you'll hear about that soon.
Oh, wonderful. Awesome. So you're down there with Drew too, huh? So you guys are you going to be there for Christmas as well?
Yeah, we'll be here till January. I'm going to help my mom drive back.
Okay.
Yeah, and I came back here because we're going to have a christening. We're going to christen and baptize the baby next Wednesday.
Oh,
so,
nice.
That's a big celebration for us.
Okay. So how many kids? This is a third?
What did he say?
Yeah, this is Drew's third.
Drew's third. So you're talking Drew's baby?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm baptizing Drew's baby, the Adaya.
Yeah, I don't have any, but Drew's kid.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, this one we're waiting on her. She's looking for a man. And I'm trying to help her find one. But she got to
Okay.
She's the last of the Mohegans. She got to give me a grandbaby.
I know that's right. And how's Krista doing?
You know, my oldest grandbaby is 30.
Oh.
And so my youngest is 2. Right?
Okay.
So Adila got to come on now.
All right now.
And I got all those in between. I got a total of 7 grandbabies.
Okay. Well, hopefully in due time, it'll happen. So, and then your husband, Dr. Robert Jordan.
What did you say?
Yeah. What about him?
I was asking, how is he?
He said, how's dad?
Oh, he's doing good. He's doing good. I say that dementia is a beast of a disease.
Yes.
I don't really say that. What I did, I named it, I call it BOAD.
Mm-hmm.
And when I first named it, it was a bitch of a disease. And then one of my spiritual daughters said, Pastor Jeanette, you can't say that. I said, well, come I can't, because that's what it is. So we changed it, though, so it'll be a little softer on the ear. So it's a beast of a disease.
Okay.
And so physically, he's doing great. But he has dementia. So, we just pray, and I've learned to go into his world and not try to pull him into mine, because that's not going to happen.
So he's in
But
like
we
an
have
assisted
fun when I
living
go into his
facility.
room.
He's in like an assisted living facility now.
Yeah, he's in a long-term care facility because with dementia, some patients or some people who are affected by that become aggressive, and he was at that aggressive and agitated. And
And
so Adila and I were trying to care for him along with the caretaker, but for his safety and for our safety, we had to have him put in a long-term care facility. But we found the greatest facility not far from where we live, and I'm still the lead caregiver. And we talk to him every Friday via a platform like this.
Oh, nice.
So I can make sure that he looks well.
Yes.
And he spent a lot of years as was he a pediatrician, doctor?
I'm sorry?
Wasn't his profession, he was a pediatrician as a doctor?
Yes, absolutely. He was a pediatrician. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. And so we had to retire him in 2017 because the dementia was becoming very, very prevalent in what the things that he was doing. And so we had to retire him in June of 2017.
Okay. So you saw some of the signs then?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, he was certainly, a good man to me when I was there as well. And I really had just such a tremendous time when I was there with you guys. Those few days when I was there in Chicago.
Yeah. We had an awesome time. Awesome time.
So, okay. Well, we got just a couple more minutes here. Anybody else have any more thoughts?
Well, Eric, what I want to do is have everybody sing happy birthday to you.
Okay.
And friends on.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna count it off. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy
birthday, cha cha cha. Happy birthday to you.
Well, thank you guys so much. That is fantastic. I appreciate it. All right now.
There it is. There's that song. There it is. Stevie Wonder.
I mean, man, that has just been amazing, isn't it, Dolores? That song has become such a staple. We'll do the traditional, but you can't finish it off without singing Stevie's version now.
Gotta do Stevie.
You worked for Stevie for so many years. What kind of a guy was he with you? For you working on
what you
Stevie
see
Wonder?
Steve is one of the funniest people I know. He's the type of person that will call you up and play games on the phone, try to change his voice. Or he'll call you up and ask you to listen to a song, and he'll cut a whole album while I literally put the phone down. I put the phone down, went downstairs, made me something to eat, came back, and he was still playing. So, and the funny thing about it is everybody at the station, all the guys would try to imitate him. So when I first started working there, they would call and try to, play around, and I would go, okay, right. So the one time he did call me, he goes, "Hi, Dolores, this is Stevie Wonder." I said, "Yeah, right, Negro." Click, and I hung up. And he loved me. He loved me for that. We became really good friends after that. So yeah, fun.
I've had a chance to interview him 2 or 3 times, and it's always been a pleasure because he is such a treasure. He's one of those few treasures that we have left. With so many people leaving.
It is.
But he is. Speaking of that, I want to show you guys the trailer to my Christmas special this coming Sunday right here in Los Angeles. For those of you who are in the vicinity, you'll get a chance to see my show on KVMD channel 31. The special is called A Very Cali Christmas, and I'm going to let you see just a little bit of the trailer right now.
Okay.
'Tis the season to be jolly. Merry Christmas, everybody. I'm Eric J. Chambers, and welcome to a very Cali Christmas. We're coming to you from downtown Brea, California, situated in North Orange County. You know, 2020 will go down in history as one of the most tumultuous years in American history. Well, to help take your mind off of some of the devastation that has gone down this year, we're here to help spread some holiday cheer. On today's show, because of COVID-19, we'll revisit some exciting places from Christmases past, including the Mission Inn Festival of Lights in Riverside and a fabulous boat parade in Yorba Linda. We'll have music from Stevie Wonder featuring Andra Day, Mariah Carey with Ariana Grande and Jennifer Hudson, and a classic from Destiny's Child. Plus, celebrities will share some of their fondest and most cherished Christmas memories. Also, we'll take a look at a new Christmas classic in the making, Jingle Jangle. But first, let's go for a stroll in downtown Disney.
Beautiful.
That's
So
amazing.
that is a tease. You just got a world premiere there of what the show is going to look like.
Amazing.
And that,
Awesome.
thank you. That's actually the opening of the show.
Okay.
And you saw the part with me on camera?
Yeah.
Believe it or not, I shot that yesterday with this iPhone.
That is crystal clear, bro.
Whoa.
Eric, you're absolutely right. You're right.
And then the stuff you
good
saw
shot.
from Disneyland, I shot it with in fact, I opened up with the stuff from Disney. It was all shot on this iPhone 12 here.
Wow.
And there's my daughter Erica. And this thing is so amazing. I just got a brand new camera, and I'm almost having like buyer's remorse. I haven't even shot one frame of video on it yet, and this thing is amazing. So what I did yesterday.
12 Pro?
No, just the regular 12.
Oh wow.
12? Okay.
Just the 12. The Pro has a third lens on it, and I didn't necessarily need that because it's more for zooming. But what I did is, like here at my dwelling place, I have, show you right there. Like I created my own little space here for me to do as my own set. And I couldn't get the thing working the way I wanted. And and I was like about to panic. Well, I wasn't going to panic, but I had to think of something fast. So I said, you know what? Let me just go to downtown Brea. And instead of even using my other quote unquote professional camera, I put this bad boy on the tripod, turned it toward me, did my stuff, and I edited into Final Cut. And I am utterly amazed. Like even on Saturday when I was at Disneyland and I shot some stuff, and I was just surprised at the pristine clarity.
Yeah,
and even the piece you saw that I did with
great.
The piece you saw with Harpo a while ago, I shot that with this yesterday, and it was so pristine. It was almost scary. It's almost like I could feel him right here in front of me. That's you know the greatness of this. So basically, for anybody who aspired to do stuff like this, and I was talking to a friend yesterday who shoots her husband's TV ministry. And she was asking what kind of camera should she get? And because she said, I'm shooting it on like an iPhone 8, I think now. I said, you know what? Instead of getting another professional camera, just upgrade and get you the 12 or the 12 Pro Max, something like that. And this thing will outperform those others at a fraction of the cost. And then on top of that, you know, I have my camera anytime I need to go somewhere. I don't have to even bring my professional stuff. But I do have one, like I'm going to be doing some documentaries. I'll use it mainly for that. But as far as the other stuff, like for my show and stuff, man, I was just, Dolores, I was so amazed at it, at the clarity. It almost shocked me because my screen in front of me is, I got this new 32-inch Ultra HD 4K monitor. And man, I was able to see lines and things I didn't even know I had in my face. You know? I was like, I might have to hire me a makeup artist now because this HD don't play.
Wow.
No,
and so
phenomenal.
It has that kind of clarity, and so I was just, like I said, utterly amazed at it. And for those who aspire to do this, you can do it with this, but eventually you get the professional kind. But you know, until you get what you want, this thing does an amazing job. And so it's going to air next Sunday at 10 p.m., the next 2 Sundays. And then also Dawn Lewis is a part of that as well. I have her on the show. I have Beyonce's mom, Tina Lawson.
Okay.
Jim
10
Brown.
p.m. PST.
Yeah, Pacific Standard Time.
Glad to be of help.
Okay.
And what I'm going to do now, Siri's talking. Nobody's talking to you, Siri. And talking about glad to be of help, you know, and so, but nevertheless, it's going to be on at 10 p.m. on Channel 31 here. They reach about 20 million people here in Southern Cal. And then I'm also going to post it online. And so for those who are not here, you'll get a chance to see it. But it turned out to be a really nice show. And what I also did, like the interviews with the people you saw, I rehashed those interviews because those are from last year or maybe the previous. And so, but they're still talking about their fondest childhood Christmas memories. And for those people who missed it before, it'll be brand new to them.
Right.
And, but it's some fascinating stuff. And then even hearing Jim Brown talk about being at his grandmother's house in like an old wooden shack in Atlanta.
Oh, wow.
You know, because Jim Brown is 80 something years old. And for him to recall things that he did with his grandmother when he was a little boy, all that stuff to me is fascinating. And the interesting thing is when I ask the celebs questions like that, they love it. If you're talking about the event or you're talking about a cause or something else, they're serious with it. But if you want to put a smile on their face, ask them about something from their childhood. And that's when it's like, oh man, I love talking about this, and it brings back such fond memories. Okay, y'all. Well, we're going to give everybody some parting words here, and then I'm going to let you guys go. And thank you all for hanging with me, and especially you, Dolores, staying the whole 2 hours. And we had others who tried to get on board, but they were unable to. So, parting words, beginning with you, Cousin Latanya. And tell me, where are we seeing you from?
I'm in Woodruff, South Carolina.
Okay.
And I want to again say happy birthday, cousin. It's been a pleasure to be here with you. And God bless everyone. I hope everyone has a wonderful holiday season. Love you guys.
Thank you. Okay, Linda. Parting words from Florida.
I'm happy to see everybody on here and happy that everyone is healthy. And I hope, Eric, that you remain as well. I'm here in Florida, so it's kind of chilly right now. It's maybe 60-ish, like 40s at night. So we're going through a little cold spell, but I'm hoping that everyone has a happy, healthy holiday.
Wonderful. Cousin Jeanette.
I just thank you for being who you are. I congratulate you for all that you do. And I am just so happy that I was able to join in this celebration. And I wish everyone who is on this podcast to have an awesome, blessed holiday season. And we know that 2021, we're going to have lots of fun. Yes, and so I'm just looking forward to that.
I agree.
And forward to all that God has for everyone.
Awesome.
Thank you, cousin.
And are you still doing your ministry from there? Are you doing your church ministry from Georgia? Okay, I'm not sure if she heard me, but she has she's pastor a church in Chicago. Wow. And so
oh yes, I do. I'm sorry. I pastor a church in Park Forest, Illinois, which is a suburb of Chicago. And I realized I've been pastoring since 2009. Been in ministry since 2008. And now that we're locked down, we do our worship over Zoom. And
so you can be anywhere then.
To expand our ministry, not just in Little Oak Park Forest, but I have folks in California and Texas and Missouri, all over the world. I have them joining in our broadcast. So God knows the plans, and I'm enjoying God's plan. So I'm going to send out there to you, cousin, our Zoom invite, and then you can invite all of these people that are on with us today so they can join us on some Sunday, 11 o'clock Central Standard Time.
Well, you know, even in the midst of the storm, it's amazing how God has done this with Zoom and platforms like this, because I have some a couple of church clients, and then also I've chatted with other pastors, and they say that one, a lot of them say that their giving has gone up, and number two, they have a reach now outside of the four walls. They're like this one pastor who's like, we're now global. We were just a small church within the confines of this building, and now because of this, we're global, and so that's going to change things. Change the way the way churches go forward, because you don't want to tail off from those same people. So, even like my main client in Pasadena, they weren't doing video ministry before this, and now we do it. I go there and I shoot on Thursdays, and that's what we do on Sundays. And then on Mondays, we do this StreamYard, I should say. And that's how we do the Bible study. And then I just, record it and put the graphics on it. And so the pastor does it right from his desk, and no harm, no foul, and everybody's happy. And so for the churches, especially the smaller ones, now they have gotten just a much greater reach now.
Right.
And that's beautiful. That's
confirmed that the church is not the building.
Absolutely. Tell it. Because you got a lot of people who still want to go to the church, and there are people that are catching COVID and pastors are dying. And what they got to understand is, God gave us our, right senses, and you have to do the right thing. You have to be able to discern what is good and what isn't. And just because it's, say, for instance, it's permissible, doesn't mean that you need to do it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, Lou, last words?
Just holiday cheers to everyone. And most importantly, while we're here tonight is blessings to you, Eric. Happy birthday. Keep doing what you do. Keep doing what you're doing. There's not, the thing about Eric is that it's not going to be a surprise when he makes it big. It won't be a surprise to any of us because we know it was coming. Just a process.
Yep. Well, my goal is like with my new professional camera that I have here. The plan is as I mentioned, Emmett Till's mom was a surrogate grandmother to me, and one of the documentaries that I'm hopeful of getting on Netflix is not so much about the case, but about the woman herself.
Nice.
Because we've seen there's nothing new from the case, but I just want to talk about the relationship we had and what it was like that weekend when she came and visited me from Chicago. And she told me, you guys, that once upon a time, and she went to church with us that Sunday morning, and I have pictures of it, and she was in tears because she said there were times she was sitting at home in Chicago waiting on a ride to church, and she's sitting there dressed and the ride never came. And so it was like she was a forgotten soldier at times. And so she was so excited. And of course, it was a Church of God in Christ with Bishop McKinney. And she, that's what she was a part of anyhow. But, and I remember giving her a hug in the hotel room as we were ready to take her to the airport. And I said, Miss Mobley, thank you so much for coming and spending this weekend with us. And she called me Mr. Chambers. She said, Mr. Chambers, she said, I needed this more than you needed it.
Wow.
So again, she was a shero for me, and to even speak at her funeral still was one of the highlights. This is someone that I learned about in the history books, and there I am speaking at her funeral. That was just amazing to me. And I actually that's going to be a part of the documentary. I already did a smaller documentary, 30 minutes, that I ran on the Word Network a few years ago. But in this particular case, I want to expand it. And then also, one last thing is when they buried her, before burying her, she was on a horse-drawn carriage, and they rode her by Emmett's grave one last time.
Wow.
And so I was the only one shooting that video, so that'll be on it as well. So I love that lady. She was just precious to me. So, but again, I just love people, and me and her used to call each other and talk for hours on the phone. And so that's why I say she became like a surrogate grandmother, because we were having that conversation just like that. And I even have a video of her giving Shauna, my former wife, she was pregnant with Erica at the time. And giving her the phone, and she was giving her some motherly advice. And I still have that video, and that was precious to me. And so, but those are some of the things that I plan to do, like I said, with the thing. And when it finally, gets on the Netflix of the world and Amazons and all of that stuff. So we'll save this and bear witness that, it wasn't an overnight sensation, but it's been more like a 40-year overnight sensation, because people see.
My saying, cousin, is the blessing is in the wait.
It is.
The blessing is in the wait. So we already know what's waiting for you. Blessed assurance that it's going to be abundant.
Amen.
In fact, the pastor yesterday, when I was recording his ministry, he said something that was, I thought, profound. It was just a regular statement in it, but I thought it was profound. And he asked the question, can God trust you in the valley? Because a lot of people, when they're in the valley, that's when they really we find out who they really are.
Right.
But do you have the patience?
Right.
Because I had been trying to raise money to buy this brand new computer, to get the furniture, to get my new camera for the last 10 years to no avail. And here in the middle of the pandemic, the Lord parted the Red Sea. Wow. And now, I feel that I've turned a corner, and I want to just keep this momentum going. That's what the plan is. And so that's why, even with doing this event here tonight, I just say, you know what, I want to celebrate. If nobody else does, I'll get, a handful of people, and I appreciate you guys doing it. A couple more tried to get on, and but I appreciate it. And those of you who are still watching, thank you so much for staying the ride with us. And some tried to get on to, couldn't do it, but okay. And Dolores, some final words from you.
Final words. Well, Eric, I just want to say God bless you. Continue to be blessed in your new year. Every time somebody gets a year older, I always call it their new year.
Yep.
You are a soldier. You have integrity and character. You are a good friend, and you're dedicated. Like your cousin said, the blessing is in the wait. And I believe when God gives us purpose, that in that wait is his time to refine us. So when we touch that thing that he's purposed for us to do, we do it with pure, undefiled hands. So in your wait, Eric, and I've watched you, you have been refined by God. And I'm excited for your future. I'm excited because I know you, and you don't always get to see, the end result of somebody's story, right? Sometimes you drop some nuggets on you from God, and then you never see him again. But I've been able to see God unfold in your life time and time and time again. And it's just exciting because you never give up. You never stop. You just keep going, keep going, keep going. And that's because you're purposed to do this, like you told me in the beginning. So I'm excited for you. I thank you for allowing me to be a part of your celebration with your family and your friends. And, you and I, we get on the phone and we chop it up for hours. And I
know we can.
That. So God bless you and keep you. And may your new year be filled with kindness, joy, laughter, good health, and all the love that you can handle. Blessings.
I appreciate it. I love you, dear friend. And I'm going to share this story with you. I had just gone through the divorce. I was living still at my house before I sold it, just me living there, and just flat broke. And Dolores was on the air overnight that particular night. And I was telling her the story, and on her way home, like the next morning, she said, meet me at this Chevron station, I believe. And I met her there, and that sister put money in my hand, and I'll never forget that, because like I said, I was going through at that time, and there are others who knew it but wouldn't help. But on her way home, going back out to the Lancaster, to that area, she had to pass my way, and she said, you know what, meet me there at such and such time. And I was there. And you just never know what people are going through, and you never know what that seed would do, because I've been in a position to do the same thing from time to time with people. And that's why I tell people, look, you have no idea. You see the glory, but you don't know the story.
That's right.
Right.
Even with what I do now, I'm grateful that help has come and more is on the way. But at the same time, like I said, it's been it's been a roller coaster ride, but I feel that I survived my wilderness, and that's the important thing. And if you can survive your wilderness and you can just stay the race long enough, good things can happen.
Yeah.
And then I was blessed with what Dawn Lewis said in the video, because she was telling me even yesterday about how proud she is of me because of the fact that I continue to, to persevere even in the midst of the storm. But like I said, this is who I am. And this is, I'll be glad when I can finally be in the position so I don't have to do it all, but until then, as Ian Van Zandt said, there's value in the valley, and it's in the valley. That's where you find out who your friends are. And then that's where you find out who you are and everything. So, okay, family, thank you guys so much. Linda, Lou, Latanya, Dolores, I appreciate you guys here for the last couple of hours here. And then all of you who are watching, and I did not, for some reason, I didn't see the comments on YouTube, on my other monitor, and Facebook. Usually I see them rolling, and probably afterwards I'll.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, he's frozen. It's his birthday.
Wishing you all the best.
Yeah. That's a good picture. But nice seeing everyone tonight.
Nice meeting you all.
Yeah.
God bless you.
God bless you.
Same here. Everyone take care.
Bye.
Happy holidays.
Good night, everyone.
Happy holidays. Good night.